guys to meet Mrs. LaFoley. You both received the MJ award, but you've never met. So.
And it was so bad for so long that my arms got
Oh, you know, that's a Nice try that.
My Senate student made 2 excellent vocal references. That's pretty good, yeah. Oh, that's right.
You look like a bridesmaid. A bridesmaid?
No. Carol. sorry, that's my seat. Yeah, we're good. We got a great dress code turnout.
Well, I can meet up with that.
Funny, we didn't get many ties.
One, in belt shorts.
Originally I said formal. What's that? Originally I did say formal. Still being sitting right here. Do you want to mention, I was going to say to our colleagues, Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the beginning of Commencement 2021. At the board meeting at the beginning of the morning, and when we all come together, as part of his prayer, Bishop Hirschfeld played Barry Manilow's "Looks Like We've Made It," and it feels that way. It feels like we're on the edge of finishing this year. And we wanted to do Prize Day a week in advance of when we normally would. Normally we do it the day before commencement, but we're doing it a week in advance so that the whole school is here together. We also want to welcome all of our virtual guests. Usually we have many of our parents here on this day, and we don't this year. So you are here virtually, and we look forward to having the parents of our seniors here in less than a week. So, as we all know, this year, this COVID year, has challenged us in every way, whether it is how your teachers taught, how you learned, and how we lived our daily lives. While we'll single out a few folks today, it truly took everyone having a positive attitude and working hard to make this year a success. No question, every day, the three core values that we talk a lot about at Holderness, and all you seniors will remember the rest of your life, hopefully, community, character, and curiosity, were evident in big and small ways in how we lived the life of school this year. Prize Day celebrates these core values, and in this ceremony it will be very evident as the tributes, the three core values are interwoven through most of the tributes which are read. We will also see how at Holderness, leadership, learning, and serving others are all deeply rooted in the culture of this school. In the next hour, we will hear public commendations of the achievements of a number of Holderness students. And it's an honor and humbling for some of you to receive those accolades. But it's also just as much of an honor, however, to have been part of the many quieter, less heralded, intellectual, and interpersonal victories that are daily earned in our classrooms, in the dormitories, on the pathways, and on our fields. That said, there simply isn't enough time to honor all who deserve recognition for achievements, great and small. But let me take this moment to thank the entire student community, whether you're recognized today or not, for the way each of you have embraced being at Holderness this year. I'd like my colleagues to thank you for this year, guys. So with each prize, we'll hear a tribute written and read by the awarding teacher. These citations are meant to honor the distinctive characteristics that are evident in each of our recipients. First, we will share the academic awards, and then we'll honor members of our senior class with community leadership awards. We've been very fortunate this year to have Peter Durnan, our academic dean, problem solver extraordinaire on all academic issues. And today he's going to lead us through the academic part of our service. So, Mr. Durnan.
Thanks, Mr. Peck. Thanks for showing up. For me, the beauty of this ceremony is its highlighting of relationships. We're about to hear teachers offer their praise for students who have excelled in the classes these teachers hold most dear. It's a beautiful thing to behold. But most of us will neither offer nor receive awards today, and that makes the event a little boring, given our natural proclivity to want to be at the center of things. So let me offer this suggestion. If you are a student, think about the teacher who, during this relentlessly dark and discouraging year of masks and hybrid classes and social distancing and unending worry, the teacher whose class you actually looked forward to attending, even if it meant doing so via Zoom. Allow yourself a moment to be thankful. Feel gratitude for this teacher, or perhaps these teachers. And as we offer the prize for U.S. history or whatever, perhaps let your mind drift to the moments in AP Physics or Creative Movements or French 2 when you were happy, thankful to be where you were. Then, in an hour, maybe a little bit more, in an hour, when the ceremony ends, don't sprint to Weld. Hang out for a couple of minutes, find that teacher or those teachers, and thank them. I suspect many of you will not do this. But if only 2 or 10 or 100 of you do this thing, it will make this a better place. And faculty, let me invite you to enjoy the same opportunity. As this next hour unfolds, ruminate over what has been an unforgettable year. Remember those students who, despite technological glitches, masked incomprehensibility, distance learning, maddening moments, those students who reminded you why you do what you do. And in an hour, seek out those students and thank them for their engagement. For the record, Jeff the Wade, I'll be looking for you, so don't go running. Okay, having issued that injunction not to pay attention to what will now ensue, let's call Dwayne Ford to the podium to offer the elementary.
Before I get started, the place we do the handshake and the award is right here. See these little labels right here? It's the best photo opportunity. So you do the handshake, you wait. This is where it happens. Right here. The elementary math prize is awarded to an underclass student who shows great potential for future accomplishments in mathematics. This first-year student is outstanding at all aspects of his math performance. He is humble, hardworking, dedicated math student. His approach is exact. He loves the step-by-step approach to getting to the answer. He has the ability to ask perfect clarifying questions. The class looks to him for his guidance and leadership. His geometry teacher, me, this year never had to make an answer key because it was produced by this student. The additional bonus of teaching this student is his beautiful, creative artwork when asked to draw a photo, a picture for a problem. Thank you so much for making me a better teacher, and good luck in your math future. This year's elementary math prize goes to Evan Gross.
Congratulations. And now invite Elizabeth Wolf to the podium to present the Advanced Math Prize and the Anderson Scholarship.
I'm pleased to offer this year's Advanced Math Prize to an exceptional thinker, learner, and classmate. Though virtual for a large portion of the year, his presence was known and he shared his ideas willingly. He asked interesting questions, shared thoughtful solutions to problems, and provided me as his teacher an answer key with which to check my own answer key. He often saw creative ways to complete a proof or solve a problem. His curiosity shined as he often emailed or dropped by office hours to ask questions that went beyond what we were learning in class. It's been a pleasure to learn with him this year, and on behalf of the Math Department, I'm pleased to offer the 2020-2021 Advanced Math Prize to Min Nunta Ari. The Anderson Memorial Scholarship for Excellence in Math and Science. This year's Anderson Scholarship winner goes to one of 2 juniors taking both AP Calculus BC and AP Physics C. Though quiet, she finds ways to share her voice and her excellent problem-solving skills, and it's clear that she has gained confidence in herself and her abilities this year. In class, she thinks carefully and critically about each problem, and when she has an idea or comes up with a solution, her entire face lights up and she grins as she puts her solution to paper. Inquisitive and curious, it's clear that this student enjoys learning and puts an incredible amount of effort into mastering the difficult concepts we've studied this year. On behalf of the Math and Science departments, it is with pleasure that I offer the Anderson Scholarship to Lisa Lynn.
I noted a few people jumping to your feet in celebration. Go ahead, jump to your feet. Why would you not do so? Let me invite Rachel Jastrzebski to the podium to present the Science Prize.
The Science Prize is awarded to the senior who best exemplifies a creative and probing mind in the pursuit of science. This year's Science Prize goes to a student that I taught in AP Environmental Science and have had the pleasure of advising this year. What impressed me most about Nick during lab exercises was his ability to persevere with a sense of humor. I remember one particular lab cleaning up an artificial oil spill. Him and his group had thrown everything they could think of at this spill, and yet oil still seeped into the water. Each time they thought they should give up, Nick went back to the drawing board to try something new. I saw that same persistence in him many times throughout the year. Not only does Nick challenge himself to come up with unique and creative solutions, he also knows when to step back and collaborate with his peers. He listens intently, asks questions with enthusiasm, and is deeply considerate of other points of view. On behalf of the Science Department, it is my pleasure to award the Science Prize to Nick Spanos.
Time to get House to the podium for the Rensselaer Medal.
The Rensselaer Medal is presented to a member of the junior class who excels in both science and math. Judy Yen has challenged herself with the most difficult math and science classes at Holderness School: AP Calculus, AP Physics, and Linear Algebra, and she has excelled. More important than the outcome in Judy's approach is Judy's approach to these difficult classes. Judy is willing and eager to take academic risk, and her resilience needed to overcome setbacks. But most importantly, Judy brings joy to the learning process, and this joy positively impacts her classmates and teachers. Congratulations, Judy, and thank you for making your classes an enjoyable place to teach and learn.
I see Mike Kerrigan is not tending his children right now, so let's get him up here to present the Spargo Award for Science.
The Spargo Award goes to the senior who has demonstrated all-around excellence and academic achievement in the pursuit of a rigorous science education. This year's Spargo Award winner has pursued his science coursework with focused determination and earnest enthusiasm that have become his hallmark over the past 4 years at Holderness. He has excellent problem-solving skills and keen quantitative reasoning, which have served him especially well in his physical science classes and in senior thesis.
But he stands out most, in my view, for his curiosity, generosity, and integrity, both in the classroom and outside it. I've taught many excellent students over the years, but few who give so much, so willingly in the classroom. He is truly a model to us all, and often leaves me wondering, WWCD, what would Chip do? Congratulations to this year's Spargo Award winner, Chip Peterson.
I now invite Alex Ellsworth to present the David Lockwood Music Award.
This year's David Lockwood Music Award goes to a student who is interested in the therapeutic potential of music. I've been inspired by our conversations about service, performance, and the psychological underpinnings of the musical process. Most importantly to the merit of this award, she has proved herself time and again to be an exceptional singer in a cappella and a courageous artist on our campus. Congratulations, Addie Robeson. I'm looking forward to working with you next year.
You missed the end of his line, but this will all be available online later, so you can read back to it. Marilena Sevigny will now present the William Bradford Whiting Prize for Art. And then Karen Sobin-Jonash will present the Ceramics Prize.
This prize for excellence in the fine art goes to a young artist who is an inspiration to many. There's one word that stands out to describe this year's recipient of the William Bradford Whiting Prize for Art: rock star. Every day I walk into the studio excited to find what Joby Jamel Hughes created the night before, as he consistently works on 3 or 4 paintings concurrently. While producing over 50 artworks over 5 months, Joby has displayed the depth of his creative intelligence, using art making as a means to channel his talent, passion, and struggles throughout this tough year. His expressive paintings and diligence have inspired all of us in the art studio who have witnessed his growth. Joby is constantly experimenting, using various materials and mediums to express his ideas. He fearlessly approaches blank sheets at any scale and allows his curiosity to fill the empty space with intuitive combinations of shapes, text, color, and texture that is unique to his own individual style. Not only is Joby adept at making art, he's also a humble and kind leader who is true to himself and his peers. He will be sorely missed in Carpenter, but I'm looking forward to watching this rock star shine throughout his creative journey. I'm going to present for Ms. Jonash as well. This year's Ceramic Award goes to a student who understands the spiritual connections between creativity, perseverance, and exploration. He quietly overcomes obstacles, learns from his efforts, and moves forward graciously and with an artistic drive that inspires others. This year's award goes to Aidan Belt, whose profound gift our willingness to explore and discover will guide him to find his most creative self, motivate others, and leave good feelings in his wake. Congratulations, Aidan. It has been a joy to get to know you, and I wish you all the best on your artistic journey.
Thanks, Ms. Sevigny. It's with great pleasure that I invite Joseph Suwenke to present the Photography Prize.
The Photography Prize goes to an extraordinary student of many talents who has remained dedicated to photography throughout much of her time here at Holderness School. Her work has continually evolved as she explored complex themes that are intensely personal as well as universal. She has an exquisite sense of composition, light, color, and tone, which engages viewers intellectually and spiritually. She is a remarkable young woman who is determined, talented, and loves to confront a challenge. It is with great joy and enthusiasm that I congratulate Gracie Rowe on receiving the 2021 Steiger Prize.
Let's invite Ms. Devine to the podium to give the Fiore Cup for theater.
4 years, 4 musicals, 3 plays, and 7 memorable performances, which include a meek husband who finally stands up to his bossy wife, a dejected fiancé who transforms into a confident young man who finds love on Machu Picchu, and a dashing suitor in Mamma Mia, and a scatterbrained brother who somehow manages to save the family campground, and his final role as Mickey in Blood Brothers, which was a powerful, nuanced performance. What sets Chip Peterson apart is that he never plays a version of himself, but instead fearlessly transforms into the character physically, vocally, and emotionally. This was exceptionally evident as we watched him seamlessly go from a nearly 8-year-old to a young adult, capturing the struggles and pain of being a victim of his circumstances. Ever the consummate professional with a commendable work ethic and moral code, Chip has been a leader in the theater program who has set the tone for others. As an actor and individual, he's not concerned about how he looks or what people think. He's focused on getting it right. It is with gratitude and respect and honor. Gratitude and respect that I honor this most deserving recipient and his impressive body of work with the Fiore Cup for acting. Congratulations.
And now Ms. Taff will present the Elementary French Prize.
This year's Elementary French Prize goes to a student who excels in all aspects of language learning. With a keen eye for detail in written work, a fine-tuned ear to distinguish subtle differences in spoken language, and a genuine interest in culture and travel, this student's mastery of the language is enhanced by her desire to more fully understand the nuances of the French language. She asks pertinent, observant questions, which at times have complicated answers, and she is always sincerely interested in the explanation. This student researches on her own as well to ensure that she understands a concept as fully as possible. She takes her learning seriously, but doesn't take herself too seriously, adding an element of lighthearted fun to our French 2 class. For her ability to further her understanding of the French language through her constant and perceptive questions, the Elementary French Prize is awarded to Louise Joe.
And it's a pleasure to invite Ms. Carter to present the Advanced French Prizes.
This year, we have 2 recipients of the Advanced French Prize. Both are truly deserving of this award. The first Advanced French Prize goes to a student who implements hard work and effort both inside and outside of the classroom. The student has a fluency and grace with the French language that is unparalleled, and she amazes me every day with her ability to think critically and think of the bigger ideas. You can often see her working closely with her classmates, and it is that collaboration and teamwork which I've admired throughout the year. Congratulations to Margot Roguet. J'ai hâte de voir toutes les bonnes choses que tu accompliras l'année prochaine. The second Advanced French Prize goes to a student who is one of the hardest workers that I've seen here at Holderness. The student is always asking how can she do better and what she can do to reach her goal. She also has the best French grammar that I've seen, and I like to think of her as the conjugation queen. This student has worked hard both individually and collaboratively in the classroom, drawing inspiration from others and also contributing her own unique ideas. Congratulations, Charlie Croft. Je vous souhaite tout le bonheur à l'université.
Now Dr. Villafania will present the Elementary Spanish Prize.
This year's Elementary Spanish Prize goes to a student who has been on top of his game in Spanish for 2 consecutive years. He consistently earned excellent grades in both Spanish 1 and 2 in a time when it has not been easy for language students, especially with chunks of online learning and big gaps throughout the year. This student is diligent in his work, inquisitive when it comes to Spanish-speaking cultures, serious about perfecting his pronunciation, and treats every assessment as if it were the last one. Having lived in Spain a few summers, you will often see him debating with me regarding which Spanish is better, the one from Puerto Rico or the one from Spain. Obviously the former. All jokes aside, this student has successfully navigated the tricky waters of Spanish 1 and 2, and is more than ready to embark in more advanced Spanish. It will be sad not having him in the Spanish classroom, but knowing him, I am sure he will not be too far away. I am pleased to offer the Elementary Spanish Prize to Mr. Lionel Messi himself, Terry Jew.
You can note as Terry walks back to his seat that Dr. Villafania got him a book called Stories from Puerto Rico. And now Kelly Casey will present the Advanced Spanish Prize.
During a COVID school year, in a class all by yourself, 9 months may well feel like 100 years of solitude, or better yet, make you feel like one of those pocket watches in Salvador Dali's Persistencia de la Memoria. But this Advanced Spanish Prize winner injected life into class every day. She challenged herself to expand her vocabulary and comprehension of various genres and time periods. She challenged me to better understand the nuances of minute details in texts that I've read dozens of times. And through her tenacious approach, she came away with a love and thorough understanding of Spanish literature, language, and culture. She has completed 5 levels of Spanish courses over her 4 years here, which is impressive as is, not to mention achieving this feat in her 3rd language. It is with great enthusiasm and admiration that I present this year's Advanced Spanish Prize to Isabella Chien.
And now Ms. May will present the Chinese language prizes.
So This year's elementary Chinese prize goes to a student who always takes her time to remember the content we have covered in class and to compare the differences between English and Chinese, who does extra work to improve her language skills and tries to send me emails in Chinese. I am pleased to offer this prize to Leah Waring. You are not done with me yet. The Advanced Chinese Prize goes to a student who has been working hard on this language, taking her time to process the grammar and asking great questions that I have to research. I'm very delighted to see her enthusiasm and diligence from everyday's assignment to presentations in which she always tries her best to present with the target language. I'm pleased to offer this prize to a student whose Chinese name represents beautiful poems, 老美诗 Madison Roth.
Thank you, Ms. May. I now invite Kelsey Berry to present the Connor History Medal.
In a world with increasingly short attention spans, Tiffany Fang has reminded us for 4 years of the results of genuine, sustained attention. What differentiates Tiffany from most learners is that once she brings her attention to a topic, she engages it from the pure delight of learning something new. Remember the thrill of seeing a seedling pop up in kindergarten science class? That's Tiffany all the time. Her sophomore year, I came upon her reading about the Spanish Civil War for fun. It was even a library book she had taken out. She isn't perfect. I did have to tell her to clean her room from time to time, but I know I speak for the history department and likely even more faculty when I say our classrooms would be a poorer and less interested place without Tiffany in them next year. This year's Connor Medal is awarded to Tiffany Fang, who is hopefully sleeping because it's 4 a.m. But give her a round of applause.
Thanks, Ms. Berry. Ms. Martinez cannot be here, Dr. Martinez either, but Jordan Graham will present the Ashford Awards for Excellence in European and United States History.
You say European?
Yeah.
Cool. Dr. Martinez was very disappointed that she couldn't present this award, but I'm thankful that she asked me as I've come to know this recipient. I've really enjoyed getting to see their passion and just goofy energy. So here's what Dr. Martinez shared. This award goes to a student who at the beginning of the year confessed that she did not like history. However, her ability to weave historical connections between periods is unparalleled. Her thoughtful comments always push class discussions forward. Questions like, how much energy would you need to propel someone into the future when discussing Einstein's theory of relativity, make me wonder what other amazing thoughts happen inside her brain. Even the jokes she makes when she thinks no one is listening have to do with history. If this enthusiasm and appetite for knowledge comes as a result of disliking history, well, then it's all dislike our subjects. That's an amateur. For all of this and more, the European History Award goes to Anna Testor. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jordan. And Andrew Shepp will now present the Ashworth Award for Excellence in United States History.
There is plenty of history talent in this year's junior class. Work ethic and critical thinking abound, and it would be possible to give this award to at least a dozen of these shining stars. we have chosen to recognize the special contributions of one junior whose limitless curiosity never fails to link our class discussions with broader topics in literature, philosophy, film, or pop culture. Whenever the pandemic, or Zoom, or pedagogical ineptitude threatened to lower our spirits, she drew on some supernatural source of enthusiasm to remind us that our job, reading about the past, is actually great fun. It is my pleasure to present this award to Allie Marcus.
And now Pat Livingstone will present the Sean Glue History Prize.
The Sean Glue History Prize is awarded each year in memory of a former history department chair who died too early after losing his battle to cancer. In his obituary, Sean Glue's family remembered that he embraced life with commitment and vigor. And the same can be said of this year's Sean Glue Prize winners' intellectual life in their history coursework. Each day he came to class prepared, he stayed curious, and he participated fully in the Foundation's curriculum. His work was organized, thorough, and provocative. His remarks were nuanced, sophisticated, and yet clear, and he grew as a student and an apprentice historian. Consequently, I imagine that Sean would have enjoyed learning with this student because I know how much I did. Please join me in congratulating this year's Sean Glue Prize winner, Andrew Stodden.
Okay, all right. Let's call Father Hill to the podium to award the Theology and Religious Studies Prize.
The Department Award in Theology and Religious Studies goes to a student with an exemplary record in Theology and Religious Studies classes. The recipient of this award is a student whose work is consistently thoughtful and who exhibits a natural curiosity for the material and also for the questions it raises. There were a handful of students this year who made a strong case for winning this award. We had many good students in world religions, ethics, and Bible. The learning goals of our department are as centered in reflection as they are in course content. So doing well means the student brings herself and her life into critical conversation with the coursework. But here we are with one award to give, and in the end we felt there was a single student whose unique combination of talent, effort, meaningful engagement, and honest personal reflection was exemplary. In fact, these gifts were given so consistently that she didn't stop taking courses in the department, even though she had already had her graduation requirement satisfied. If you want to win this award, taking additional religion courses as an elective is a good way to get our attention. Yes, this is a commercial. And we are so pleased to acknowledge a delightful young scholar, Sage Amalekson.
Okay, on to the English department, and Ms. Fritchett to present the English prize.
It's a special treat to give this esteemed award to this year's recipient. not least because of the company she keeps in winning it, which includes her beloved older sister and her AP Lit teacher, the presenter of this award. That is me. What may distinguish this winner, however, especially from the latter party, is the quiet grace with which she conducts herself in the classroom. Never bombastic, but always passionately curious, this student approaches the field of literary inquiry in much the same way as she has approached her peripatetic life, with endless curiosity, sensitivity, generosity, and gratitude for the opportunity to learn. Put succinctly, this scholar has nothing to prove, and that is precisely what makes her such a rare jewel of a thinker, writer, and person. In the words of Toni Morrison, an author we studied together this year, Abigail Cole, from my point of view, I see your life as already artful, waiting, just waiting, and ready for you to make it art. Congratulations.
Dr. Gaudette will now present the Writing Prize.
The Writing Prize goes to that student who has demonstrated themselves to be particularly adept at and committed to the process of becoming an elite writer. Across a number of different electives and teachers this year, this student has shown herself to possess a devotion to the nuances of the English language and to delving into the deepest recesses of literary texts. Through her adept and often pyrotechnic use of syntax, diction, and technical proficiency, this student has excelled across all genres of writing, producing not only analytical essays whose breadth and interdisciplinary reach rival those of most graduate students, but also fiction whose pathos and complexity leave her teachers and fellow students in awe. Most importantly, however, she has brought an insatiable curiosity to her classes, to her writing, and to our school more broadly. One that has reminded many of us of all that is so powerful about great writing. It is with pleasure that I present the 2021 Writing Award to Palm Jitlongsub.
And now, English Department Chair Marilee Lynn will present the Robert Creely Poetry Prize.
Though this prize comes belatedly, many months after this student made her impressive foray into poetry out loud in the pre-pandemic winter of 2020, the memory of her performance lingers. Her command of each line, her attention to every word and inflection, her poise and presentation, and ultimately her ability to refine her delivery and bring those poems to life for an audience. As the winner of our school contest, Isabella Chien graciously bowed out of the subsequent round of Poetry Out Loud competition, turning from words to woods in order to embrace the challenge of Outback. In this strange year, one without our collective dive into poetry, there's little doubt she would have led the way with her sensitivity, intellect, and work ethic. We imagine that she would have flourished, too, at the Red Loaf Young Writers Conference in May of last year, but it became yet another casualty of COVID. So we look ahead with hope for this young wordsmith and anticipate a future rich with opportunities to display her poetic talent. Congratulations, Izzy, on being the recipient of this year's winner of the Robert Creely Poetry Prize.
Okay, I now invite Kristen Fisher and Dr. Maggie Mumford to present our cum laude recipients.
The Cum Laude Society was begun in 1906 by Dr. Abram Harris of the Tome School. He envisioned a society modeled after Phi Beta Kappa that would recognize exceptional scholarship. The motto of the society is Arete Dike Time, which stands for truth, honor, and justice. The motto is especially meaningful because in all of our intellectual strivings, we are searching for the truth. In always working towards highest academic standards, the students we're about to recognize today have brought honor to the learning community and to the very principles of developed thought. And it's through this work in truth and honor that they will bring justice to the world. I would now like to recognize last year's inductees from the class of 2021, and I'll ask you to please come forward as your name is called, and Dr. Mumford will direct you where to go. Abigail Catherine Cole. Please come forward. Charlotte Bray Croft. I think I'll ask you to hold your applause till I get to the end of the list, please. Tiffany Feng and Tao Nguyen Natalie Mai, who are remote and can't be here today. Griffin James O'Neill. Charles Francis Peterson, Isabella Chien, and Nicholas George Spanos. They will now be joined by this year's members of the class of 2021. Tanuan Lili Acharya Chanvanit, Colin James Eldred, Ethan John Hayes, Siren Pom Jitpongsu, Pakorn Min Nunta Ari, Abigail Flynn Palmer, Kwanlada I Sri Jomkwan, and Chanaporn Nu Tosun Wanwanich. And finally, please welcome the following members of the class of 2022. Anasi Isabella Kagan, Ishan Lisa Lin, Ali Rose Marcus, Aldwin Moynihan, Matthew David Pellini, Margot Sophie Roguet, Rachel Margaret Story, and Ifan Judy Yin. Congratulations to our newest members of the Cum Laude Society. Thank you. You may be seated.
Congratulations. What's going to happen right now is a minute I've been waiting for in this year's prizes. It's an honor and a pleasure to introduce a new award this year. After 38 years of service to Holderness School, Doug Kendall's retiring. To celebrate his unique spirit and his profound contributions to our school, we've inaugurated the Kendall Book Prize. It's impossible to capture in a few words Doug's combination of intellect, curiosity, deep love of the woods, puckish sense of humor, and refreshing rejection of all things pretentious. For now, the citation for this new award reads as follows. The Kendall Book Prize is awarded to a student in 11th grade who engages in academic life with lively intelligence and shows a creative commitment to community. But I welcome any revisions that come to mind. It's my honor to award the first of the two recipients of the Kendall Prize this year. So here we go. Creative, engaged, assiduous, and also quite goofy, Judy Yin makes her world a better place. Whether she's contemplating the early financial systems of the United States or pondering a tricky derivative in calculus, or for that matter, sniping a shot in her role as a key superstar on the Superstars, Judy gives her all. This spring found her all bundled up in her kayaking equipment, but even in the midst of whitewater, her trademark smile was mostly unmistakable. Her unassuming intellect makes her a valued member of all of her classes, and it is a great pleasure to award her the first annual Kendall Book Prize. And now let's give it up for the man himself, Doug Kendall.
Wow, I thought I'd never be back, but here I am. I've taught many classes of different types. My most memorable classes, perhaps though of all, last year's sophomore English. These recipients were both in one of those classes. Sasha Levine is a seeker. She strives to make our school a more just and equitable home for all students. She tests herself and her abilities as a snowboarder and lacrosse goalie. And she uses her classes as arenas to pursue a clearer and more compassionate understanding of her world. She embodies the school's mission of making the world a better place, and it's a pleasure to award her the first annual Kendall Book Prize.
Thank you for all you've given the school, Mr. Kendall. And now Ms. Disney will present the Harvard Book Prize. This prize is given to a student who displays excellence in scholarship and high character.
What is excellence in scholarship? Is it 6 A+ and 6 excellent effort grades last quarter? Actually, no, although this student did achieve that. More impressively, though, this student writes with meaning, speaks with curiosity, and listens with empathy. Yet, despite an amazing array of talents, she is humble and gracious to her core. Whether looking at her own experiences as a female athlete or analyzing the gender inequities in sports, this student leads a life of purpose. As Mr. Durnan says, quote, "Things matter to her. She might just save the world," end quote. In these especially difficult times, thank you, Rachel Story, for reminding us why we teach. Congratulations, Rachel.
Before we recognize the class of 2021, we have 2 community awards for underperformers. I'll now invite Pat Casey and Connor O'Meara to present the M.J. LaFoley Award. We also have our regular special guest, Bev LaFoley, MJ's mom, with us here today. Let me invite her to the podium to help celebrate the winners. And Mr. Casey and Mr. O'Meara, come on up.
The M.J. Foley Award is given in memory of Martin John LaFoley, a former student to a student in the 3rd or 4th form, who in the opinion of the head of school and faculty, exemplifies outstanding character and integrity, who puts forth exceptional effort and spirit in all aspects of Holderness life. When thinking of this year's M.J. LaFoley Award winner, I am reminded of attributes of leadership that we value at Holderness. Honor and connection are a way of life for this student. His connections are abundant because he is jovial and affable, and he has the ability to lure you into passionate conversation on a wide variety of topics. He is friendly to all, and he is rewarded with a friend group that transects the school. Whether he is helping a classmate understand a tough concept, sparking support for his team from the JV soccer goal, or staying after class to continue a discussion with his teachers, Terry Jew is always helping, connecting, and caring for his community. Thank you for your effort, honor, and connections to our community, Terry, and congratulations on this award.
This year's second recipient of the MJ LaFoley Award exemplifies all the qualities Mr. Casey described in the award introduction. Just look at how he spends his afternoons and weekends at school, on the ice rink and behind the plate. A goalie's job is to stop a puck, a baseball catcher to catch a ball and block the plate. Of course, these are just parts of the position, and his relationship to his teammates out in competition reveals much, much more about his individual character. The goaltender, the catcher, they send a message to their teammates. They say, "This end of the rink or field is well cared for. Now go do your job." The goaltender, the catcher, they create an environment in which their teammates can be their best selves. They give them a sense of freedom. This mentality does not just remain out on the ice or at home plate. It is central to the rest of the student's life here at Holderness, fully engaged in intellectual pursuits and the spiritual life of the school. He is a keystone, a foundation, a bedrock. He models and maintains a high standard of character. He shows integrity in the face of adversity. He remains true to himself and shows exceptional effort in all things. And of course, he does this all with great spirit and humility. It is with great honor that I present this year's second MJ LaFoley Award to Evan James Plunkett.
Time for me to hand the microphone over to Mr. Peck for the Community Awards.
Thank you, Mr. Durnan. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite parts about this is watching the enthusiasm of the seniors when the underperformers are getting awards. It's just, your connection is one of the reasons the school has been so healthy this year. So thank you. I also want to thank a couple of the unsung heroes who are making this a great day today. Sitting in front of me is Mr. Kwasnick, who's doing the photos. Thank you, Greg, for that. I also want to thank Miss Ryan and Miss Wright, who spent hours and hours putting together all the pieces of paper and everything that's here. So thank you. They're in the back. Thank you. And just a reminder that when you get an award, there's a write-up, and that write-up is what was read. It'll also be on the website. So if you want to see what was written, you'll be able to do that. So I want to, the first award today is the Ford B. Henman Coaches Award, and Miss Barry and Mr. Ford will come forward to present that.
The Ford
Robert B. Hinman Coaches Award is awarded to the student or students who, in the opinion of the Director of Athletics and the head of school, has contributed the most to the spirit of Holderness on and off the field. With a shy but also somehow enormous smile, Gwen Bowler joined the field hockey team in her 9th grade year, despite never having played the sport. Her willingness to fail as she tried to master a sport others had played for years distinguished her immediately. Every day over 4 years, she came to practice with a smile and evident glee at being outside, at play, with her team. As she grew as an athlete, she served our hockey and lacrosse teams with the same positive but always determined presence. Never taking herself too seriously, but always taking the work at hand seriously, Gwen modeled for younger athletes what it means to be a 3-sport athlete. It is with great pleasure that I get to give the Gwendolyn Bowler one of this year's Coaches Awards.
Coach Hinman, my athletic director in 1974, most respected the students that balanced academics, athletics, and highest character. Jack Bayreuther has been coming to Holderness events since he was 5 years old. Jack's spirit and love of Holderness is a family affair and concludes a 12-year Bayreuther family experience. Coach Hinman would have loved Jack Bayreuther's can-do and caring attitude that has improved all our total community experience. Jack gets highest grades for his view of fairness and empathetic disposition. We have placed leadership on Jack as captain, dorm leader, and job leader. We honor his point of view and mentorship of our younger students. Congratulations, Jackman, on a great 4 years and for making Holderness a better place.
Now ask Mrs. Fenninger to come forward to present a special faculty award.
This year's Special Faculty Award goes to Charlie Croft. In her 4 years at Holderness, Charlie has modeled our core values of curiosity, character, and community in her daily actions in the classroom, on the fields and ski slopes, supporting theater productions, and in all areas of school life. She takes that extra moment to ask, "How are you?" and she truly cares about your answer. Charlie's willingness to listen to others, her desire to help her peers learn and grow, and her determination to succeed, even in the most challenging of situations, is an example to all of us. It is my privilege to award Charlie Croft the Special Faculty Award. She's made this school a better place for adults and students, and we're so thankful for her leadership and contributions to this community. Congratulations, Charlie.
We'll now invite Pat Livingstone and Carol Dopp to present the Bob Brooks Awards.
I'll go first, so it's your call.
The Bob Brooks Award is named for Bob Brooks, aka Brooksy, who worked at Holderness School from 1980 to 1997 and served as equipment manager from 1985 to 1997. This award is chosen by the 9th grade class for the senior, or in this case seniors, who played the biggest role in making Holderness School a home. With an exact tie for the most votes, this year's recipients each clearly made an impact in welcoming and guiding the class of 2024.
When seniors come back to Holderness in the fall, it's easy for them to get wrapped up in all the upperclassmen activities. Sometimes they forget that there are younger students who are looking to them for guidance, but there are, and that's why we're standing here. I asked several ninth grade students why they voted for Alex Baber for the Bob Brooks Award. And I heard the following. In the fall, Alex showed me around and even hung out with me. I picked Alex because he made Niles' dorm a lot of fun in an uncertain year. Alex helped me get to know people in the fall and helped me to feel comfortable and safe at this school. And finally, I chose Alex because he generously welcomed me into the Holderness community and gave me responsibility in the dorm. If asked, I'm sure other ninth graders would have responded similarly. What an honor it is as a graduating senior to be recognized by the youngest students at this school as a provider of comfort and friendship. Congratulations, Alex.
It would take an Islander to know how important it is to be connected to the larger group. It should come as no surprise then that throughout her time at Holderness, Ava has been generous, caring, and supporting of all members of the community, old and new alike. Moreover, Ava lived the Holderness motto, putting others first, doing so even when it came at personal cost to herself. Ava has given much to the community and its future, and it is with great pride that I give something back to her in the form of this year's Bob Brooks Award.
I will now ask Ms. Bartlett and Mr. Graham to present the Webster Cups.
The Webster Cup Award is the gift of a former rector, the Rev. Lauren Webster, to be awarded for excellence in athletics. We celebrate 2 this year. Athletic excellence is defined as an athlete's exceptionally good performance compared with previously achieved standards. We often think about athletic excellence in a quantitative sense, how many goals, assists, or minutes played in the game. However, we all know it is much more complex than this. This type of excellence is a balancing act, balancing individual goals with team goals, leading by example, communication, sharing team values, and creating an atmosphere with high work morale. It is a process that doesn't change overnight, but rather something that takes time and needs to be worked towards. The athlete that has earned this award exemplifies these qualities. She is a 4-year, 3-sport varsity athlete in field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse, and named captain on all her teams her senior year. This athlete has learned how to bring a team together in the most trying times and understands when teammates need support on and off the field or ice. She is a utility player who has a high emotional and sport IQ and never wanted to miss a practice or a game, and even stood in the freezing cold when dealing with an injury to support her teammates. Her smile and joy of playing her sports is contagious and consistent. She has embodied this definition of athletic excellence, learning how to balance her own goals with her team goals. And yes, she did score the goals, earn the assist, and performed in the moments when she was needed the most. It is with great pleasure that I give Aaliyah Pacini the Webster Cup in recognition of her excellence in athletics. Congratulations.
Coaching Griffin O'Neill is a lot like playing alongside Griffin, which I imagine is not too different from competing against him. It's full speed, challenging, and often terrifying. For those who embrace his relentless pursuit of perfection, you get the chance to improve. I've witnessed Holderness teams chase Griffin around, discovering they had another gear, while gaining a clear sense of what a championship level work ethic looks like. In my own time as his coach, I feared there was a real chance that a practice plan would waste his commitment, or my own in-game focus would fall short of the high standards he set. And during a week of practice. In short, I was one of the many who was made better by Griffin O'Neill. Griffin's commitment exposes the areas in need of attention, while his desire to improve those around him pulls teams together. Griffin treats the other aspects of his life the same way he treats athletics. Thus, knowing Griffin in one area is to know him in all others. While I am consistently astonished at his competitive output, I've always been drawn to Griffin because of his genuine passion to be himself in all aspects of his life, with full attention, at full speed, and an inner demand to get things right. So after 4 years of seeing his relentless drive on the field, focus in the classroom, and his inability to stop debating anything and everything with me in the common room, I am proud to present Griffin O'Neill with this year's Webster Cup. Congratulations, Griffin.
Now, Mr. Thatcher, come present the Ned Gillette Spirit Award.
The Ned Gillette Spirit Award is awarded annually to the graduating senior whose career at Holderness best reflects Ned Gillette's genuine leadership, competitive attitude, and spirit of adventure. The headmaster, in consultation with members of the faculty, selects the recipient. Being a successful adventurer requires competency in a trio of skill sets: the hard skills of navigating over land and water by different and varied means, the risk management skills involved in judging ever-changing and predictably unpredictable conditions and weather patterns, and the leadership skills, both in leading yourself to an appropriate risk-reward balance and in stepping up to lead a group when necessary. In a canoeist's sketchbook, Robert Kimber addresses the balance of these skill sets beautifully at the end of an essay on PFDs. He says, "Buoyancy is just as crucial for the soul, of course, as it is for the body. Anxiety weighs you down, and the only cure for it is competence. Competence on an extended river trip is not a matter of hotshot whitewater skills alone, but of good judgment, and good judgment is a distillate of a whole complex of skills both on the water and off. It requires not only the hands-on skills of canoeing, of navigation, of setting up a snug camp, of reading weather and water, but also human savvy, having wits enough to stop and make hot soup for lunch before anyone gets too cold and grumpy, or to quit for the day rather than attempt one last rapid on everyone's last reserves of energy and attention. Pierce Boulez has this sort of buoyancy in his soul. While I'm sure his parents, his peers, and hopefully his teachers and coaches can take some credit for fostering this buoyancy in Pierce, only he can truly take credit for elevating that buoyancy to the level it's currently at, by taking advantage of every outdoor sport and offering we made available to him. The exceptional thing about Pierce is that he hasn't engaged in these opportunities merely for fun, but to intentionally grow his skill sets with an eye on yet to be planned but sure to be grand adventures. I'm honored to present Pierce with the Ned Gillette Spirit Award, and I'm eager to see where this buoyancy takes him.
I now invite invite Mr. Cabot to present the Richard C. Gallup Award.
The Richard C. Gallup Award for Creative and Community Leadership is awarded to a senior student chosen by the headmaster and the faculty. This award is given in memory of Richard Gallup, a parent and a trustee, to a senior who demonstrates both a creative and community leadership as one willing and able to assert those qualities which further the unique sense of community at Holderness. From his arrival on the first day with a bow tie, top hat, and a rolly backpack to now sporting his long hair, visor, and flannel, this student has shown us how to unabashedly be yourself, to follow your own drumbeat, and to care deeply about everyone. No matter who you are, you feel welcomed in this community. As this student has gotten older, I've watched him support and comfort the younger students in their transition to Holderness and make us all feel a part of this community. This year's award winner has truly left his mark on Holderness, and we will miss him dearly because he's a young man who always strives to do the right thing. It's my pleasure to present this year's Richard C. Gallup Award to William Klaus.
I'll now invite Ms. Dahl to present the Dana Rowe Memorial Award.
The Dana H. Rowe Memorial Award is given to that girl in the senior class who has made an outstanding contribution to the life of the school through her academic achievement, her participation in sports and extracurricular activities, and her love of life. You know that feeling you get when you hear someone erupt in genuine laughter? It's the sound of someone fully appreciating the humor and joy of a moment, loving life. I know when I hear it, it makes my day better. That's Summer Brayton. Summer is all things fun. She's quirky, a little wacky, and certainly goofy at times. As Mr. Hausman says, it's hard not to smile when Summer is around. But there's more to her than smiles and laughter. She's an honors student, a competitive athlete, and a true leader. All of these attributes make Summer's influence on our community positive and broad. She intentionally, yet intuitively, makes others feel valued and important. She looks you in the eye on the path. She pets your dog. She knows Dr. V likes Lifesavers best and is sure to bring him 1 or maybe 20 from the candy jar after break. She unifies the day girls. She leads the ski team by example during tough training sessions at Cannon. And most recently, she has immersed herself in Fenny dorm life. In all situations, Summer gives us the gift of highlighting the good, the fun, the worthwhile. So, thank you, Summer, for making Holderness a better place. Keep that mischievous twinkle in your eye and the smirk in your smile.
We'll now invite Dr. Jastrzebski to present the Haslam Award.
The Haslam Award is given by the school yearly in memory of the Reverend George Haslam, a former master for excellence in athletics, sportsmanship, and scholarship. I have coached May for several years and had the opportunity to have her in one of my classes this year. The thing that has stood out at me the most about May is that she puts her whole heart into everything she does. Sometimes I wonder how this can even be possible with all of her diverse interests and talents. The scientist in me doesn't compute. How is there enough May to go around? Somehow there is. Somehow she is able to split herself yet keep herself whole at the same time. For example, after winning a cross-country race one afternoon, she made a quick change, jumped on her mountain bike, and competed with a strong finish in the mountain bike race as well. Even when up against a daunting challenge, May puts her head down, smiles, and attacks it full on, never looking for the easy way out. She brings that same tenacity to her schoolwork while also working and collaborating effectively with her peers. Even when her lab partner was across the world, May helped find ways to include her. I can't wait to see what challenges May tackles next and know that Holderness will miss a small piece of its heart without her. Congratulations, May.
Now ask Father Hill to present the Dallas Award.
The Dallas Award is given in memory of John Thompson Dallas, a former bishop of New Hampshire, to the senior who clearly exemplified loyalty and dedication to the Judeo-Christian ideals of the school. Normally, when presenting this award, I say something about my unease with this award because of how many students demonstrate loyalty and dedication to the Judeo-Christian ideals of our school. And while that's certainly true again this year, in my time at Holderness, I have never felt more at ease with the way this award description fits a particular student. Cut to the chase, everyone here already knows I'm talking about Chip Peterson. Holderness knows Chip as a loyal and devoted person of deep Christian faith and who carries himself with authentic humility, service, kindness, and who pursues his interests with passion and focus that can only come from a deep wellspring of spirit. We're talking about a student who preached at an all-school confirmation as a 10th grader. We're talking about a student who, during the height of the pandemic, spent his days working with the homeless at soup kitchens in Durham, North Carolina. We're talking about a student who put his whole self into this community as a citizen, as a leader, as the bass in a cappella, as a poet out loud, and as the star in the last several plays and musicals. And as you've heard, Chip is no slouch in the classroom. He's attending one of the top nuclear engineering programs in the nation. And with all of these things going on in his life, I can count on one finger the number of night church services he missed in 3 years. He's definitely humble enough to be feeling uncomfortable about my saying all these things. But I'm so glad we get to celebrate this remarkable person and his contributions to this place. Chip Peterson.
I'll now invite Ms. Devine to present the Clarkson Award.
The Clarkson Award is given to the student in the junior or senior year who, in the opinion of the faculty, has used their abilities to the fullest in the total context of the life of the school and who has shown that they can persevere. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time. This quote by Thomas Merton resonates for the recipient of the Clarkson Award. Introspective, passionate, artistic. At this early age, yes, Joby Gemmelhuse has already begun to interpret his life through his artwork, both on the canvas and on stage. A prolific painter and actor who embodies the soul of an artist, his paintings are thought-provoking and personal. His curiosity to understand the world is the backbone of his scholarly pursuits. Admittedly not an athlete, this did not limit him from taking full advantage of what Holderness has to offer as he experienced a non-traditional path. Insightful, individualistic, empathetic, Joby is rooted in his sense of self. Self. What's wrong with me today? Keep going. Not needing to take a page out of someone else's playbook, instead uniquely writing his own story, a more challenging, worthwhile endeavor. Don't let that mislead you to think he isn't inclusive, as Joby is instinctively aware and welcoming to those in his hemisphere. All of this doesn't come easy for someone who thinks differently. He perseveres, though, and discovers his place wherever that might be. Courageous, creative, sincere. As life's challenges face Joby, he puts fear on the shelf and moves forward with his soulful creativity and makes the world a better place. Holderness has benefited from his presence. The humans at Bard College will as well. With respect and honor, the Clarkson Award goes to Joby Gemmell Hughes.
I'll now ask Ms. Sparkman to come forward to present the Marshall Award.
The Marshall Award is given in memory of the Reverend Robert Elliott Marshall, a former rector of the school, for outstanding contribution to the life of the school. Perhaps the most powerful impact any student has takes place beyond the view of the adults and even many of the students. It's the kindness shown to new students in their first days on campus, the difficult conversations that have to happen in dorm rooms, the laughter around a lunch table, the words said in a huddle or a hockey locker room. It is modeling learning that is grounded in curiosity both in and out of the classroom. It is the way that someone enfolds others into our community that is so natural that they do not recognize how profound their presence has been on this campus. This is the way that Atkin Dwyer lives his life. Atkin's outstanding contribution to the school is, for many, a conversation, an interaction, a moment that was shared when they felt seen, heard, and valued. For many of us, this was a year when we were just trying to get through day to day, and yet somehow amidst all the worry, turbulence, and shifting college landscape, Atkin Dwyer not only reminded us how to connect to each other as individuals, but also founded our culture and justice clubs that we might also celebrate and better understand our relationships with one another and our greater world. As stated in the beginning, the Marshall Award is given for outstanding contribution to the life of the school. This school is a living thing because its heartbeat is the members of this community that traverse its paths. Atkin's contribution to that life was to create connections and model the empathy, kindness, and commitment that strengthened that heartbeat. As a school, we thank you, Atkin, for adding to our lives in so many ways.
I will now invite Ms. Lynn and Dr. Mumford to present the Don and Pat Henderson Awards. This year we have 2 recipients.
The Don and Pat Henderson Award is given to the senior, or in this case seniors, who in the opinion of the faculty and head of school has given of themselves most freely and generously to the welfare of the community and has exhibited leadership. Kind, self-deprecating, honest, and responsible, the co-winner of this year's Henderson Award is not the sort of person who courts attention or expects accolades, so this award will probably cause some embarrassment. Still, this student deserves the kind of shout-out that she and her fellow leaders have made a weekly ritual in our Zoom assemblies. Just as she would put the spotlight on her schoolmates, telling us why we should get to know them, today we're glad to return the favor and recognize why we value and appreciate her. In her 4 years at Holderness, Honor Patton has lived up to the promise of her first name, showing sure, quiet purpose, integrity, and fairness. This year, she has displayed her dependability list by mundane job list. It is the kind of real, often unappreciated work that makes the engine of our school hum.
Honor is above all a community builder. Among dorm mates, she is the patient friend who truly listens and brings people of all ages together. Among friends, she is the playful, no-nonsense confidant who skirts drama for a path of common sense and fun. Among classmates, she is the focused student who engages in class to learn and not just obtain a grade. Among teammates and job crews, she can spark a sense of purpose, motivating others while pitching in to help wherever and however she can. In a year when nothing was normal, her positive, unflappable demeanor and good humor helped steady the ship. Honor, we're so glad you left the mean streets of Cambridge to find a home in these welcoming woods and mountains of the Lakes region. Congratulations on this award and the culmination of 4 fabulous years at Holderness.
For the second Don and Pat Henderson Award. This individual dives into everything she does wholeheartedly without any reservation. She is dedicated to making the world a better place in ways both big and small. She knows we are a part of nature and continually strives to understand that relationship more deeply. She showed this in AP Enviro and AP Bio, but it's also evidenced by her senior thesis on bees, the pollinators that at best the rest of us take for granted, and at the worst we run from. A leader of the school's climate action group, she's also devoted herself to causes of social justice and equity. In each of her classes, she learns with focus and intent. Mastery of content arms her more richly to be a warrior for global justice. Abigail Cole jumped from the sands of Dubai onto the snows of the Nordic trails, and she hasn't stopped since. She pulls all along with her joy and energy. She is engaging, organized, reflective, and, another goofy, sincere, and worldly. It is with pride and thanks that we offer Abigail the Don and Pat Henderson Award. Come on up again, Doozer.
Our final award is the oldest award awarded in the school. The Walter Alvin Frost Award is given in memory of a former student to the student who, in the judgment of the head of school and faculty, reached the highest standards of the school. From the moment that Adam McNabby assumed the role of president last May, he knew he would inherit a presidency like none other in the history of Holderness School. Immediately, Adam embraced that challenge and began to build community. Whether it was how he coordinated meetings with the leaders throughout the summer, helped us to process social justice issues, coordinated the earliest ever assembly with all our new students, joined new parent Zooms, led our assemblies with shout-outs and tributes, and embraced every activity to help bring us together. Adam played a pivotal role in creating positive and a joyful culture throughout our COVID year. No president of Holderness has started earlier, worked harder, dealt with more challenges, and built community in the midst of crisis better than Adam McNabby. In addition, I'm personally thankful to have had such a remarkable student partner to help lead Holderness during this COVID year. It is my great privilege and honor to present Adam McNabby with the Frost Award. So we just finished the longest awards prize ceremony, but I really feel it was worth it, and I want to thank my colleagues for the incredible work that they did, leading all of you, learning with you during this COVID year, and just caring so deeply for you. So thank you, colleagues. A couple other details. First, I need to thank another one of the behind-the-scenes folks. Alex Ellsworth, our music director, was here early, often trying to make sure that everybody could hear. So thank you, Mr. Ellsworth. Ninth graders, we're going to work with you to get all the chairs picked up, please. Seniors, we're going to be taking a photo. If we go over by the baseball diamond, between the baseball diamond and the schoolhouse, we're going to get your class photo as well as a lifer photo. So if you'd head over there afterwards, that'd be great. And senior families, we look forward to welcoming you for senior thesis presentations and for commencement next week. So bless you all. Congratulations. Let's go forth in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Definitely not.